All right, welcome back. 10 minutes before 7. I had a bit of a brain freeze there for a sec. It is freezing. I'm not going to hold back punches. It's the morning I wish I'd brought gloves because my hands are frozen here. Well, hopefully my next guest will keep me warm with some of the wonderful things that they are doing on the African continent. It's so nice to have him on the program. Chris Maroleng, he is now with MTN. He is the Group Executive of Corporate Affairs there. Nice to see you, Chris. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here on this freezing cold day. But you guys come bearing a lot of gifts. And I think this is what a day like this is all about, isn't it? This golf day aimed at raising a lot of funds. And I mean, MTN coming to the party in a big way.
Yeah, absolutely. You will recall that MTN operates in 22 markets in Africa and the Middle East. Of those 22, 18 are on the continent. So our destiny is highly connected to that of the African continent. And as a result, we entered into an agreement with the African Union Foundation to support this fight against Ebola, specifically in West Africa, where we have a number of operations. And we presented the AU Foundation with $1 million to support the efforts at stemming the tide of Ebola. And we were very happy to hear, I think it was about a few weeks ago, when Liberia declared itself to be Ebola free. You'd also note that we operate there. So it's one of the things where we believe as corporates it's important for African corporates to also be at the forefront of supporting our citizens, not simply because we derive profits there, because we believe that we're very much a part of the communities in which we operate in.
Yeah. Indeed, and it's a wonderful continent to operate on, but it does come with difficulties. I mean, let's be honest, operating on the continent from a business perspective, what are some of the greatest challenges that you go through?
Look, I think one of the key things is infrastructure. In everywhere where we operate in Africa, it's necessary for MTN to be involved in the building of infrastructure, the development of skills. And MTN, you would be aware, was engaged in an Africa strategy when it wasn't very fashionable to become invested in Africa. Our story, the MTN story, is that of the African continent. You will note that MTN was founded in 1994 when South Africa transitioned to democracy. And at a very early stage, about 4 or 5 years shortly after that, we saw MTN investing in what is now our largest market in Nigeria, where we have almost, just over 60 million subscribers in that country. A clear indication that MTN is a partner for development, is involved in the economic prosperity and enhancement of economies right across the African continent.
Just one final question, and I think it's an important one, because I know that we've got the AU summit happening here, but it wasn't so long ago that many companies and many of our everybody, including us, our South Africans, were devastated by seeing these xenophobic attacks that were taking place around South Africa. And we've now got leaders from all over Africa here on the continent. And we cannot ignore the fact that that did happen. I mean, MTN, you guys went through a very difficult time at that phase as well. What's been done to strengthen those relations once again and to assure our African partners that this is not going to happen?
I think one of the things that you need to understand about MTN's business model is that if you go to many of the countries that we operate in, we are not just seen as a South African multinational invested in those countries, but very much they see us as part and parcel of those countries. For example, in Nigeria, many Nigerians actually think that MTN is a Nigerian company. Now, the interesting thing about that is because our model for investment in those countries is one of partnership, where we hire locally. The leadership of our businesses there are normally derived from those areas or other parts of our African continent. So we grow the talent there. I think what the xenophobic attacks did demonstrate to us is that there is this sensitivity and an unfortunate perception maybe about South Africa, where indeed it's not policy of the South African government or indeed of South Africans to be against migrants or non-nationals in South Africa. The important thing about it that we must emphasize is that in times of economic challenges, and this is where business has a role to play, we need to present and provide jobs and create opportunities for the rest of Africa, for the people of our continent.
All right, Chris Maroleng, thank you for talking to us. A pleasure to have you here on the program. Chris is now the Group Executive of Corporate Affairs at MTN. This, of course, is a business golf day that's taking place, and $1 million being donated by MTN for the African Union Foundation, which is wonderful. Again, thanks so much for being with us. All right, let's go back to the Johannesburg studio.